Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 6 of pair programming with yours truly, Keenan. I'm here with Lesedi. She is going to be assisting me as we are understaffed at the moment.
Yes.
Okay, so we are going to be tackling chapter 6, which is dictionaries. We are going to start off at the first try it yourself on page 136, and we're going to start with question 6-1, person. Ooh, mysterious. Okay, use a dictionary to store information about a person you know. Store their first name, last name, age, and the city in which they live. You should have keys such as first name, last name, age, and city. Print each piece of information stored in your dictionary. Okay, so page 36, let's go up here. So I kept this bad boy simple. I started off by creating our dictionary here. First name, last name, age, as well as city, broken up into John Doe. He's going to be 30 years old from New York. Okay. With that, we have now created it. That should be print each piece of the information stored in your dictionary. Cool. And here we go, printing each piece. We have 4 formatted strings printing the person's first name, last name, age, and city. But now notice, what we've done here is inside this formatted string, we have stuck in person first. Here we're specifying what we're taking information from, aka our dictionary. And because it's a dictionary, we are going to work with our square brackets specifying what piece of information we're using. Aka in this first piece, name, first name, and its value would be John. Same thing with last name and so on. Let's give it a run and see what happens. All the way at the top here, first name, as we wrote it here, John, last name Doe, age 30, city New York. Okay. All still following so far?
Yes. Following everything looks good.
Groovy. Okay, we're moving on to question 6-2 now, which is favorite numbers. Use a dictionary to store people's favorite numbers. Think of 5 names and use them as keys in your dictionary. The names as keys this time. Think of a favorite number for each person, store each as a value in your dictionary, and then print each person's name and their favorite number. Even more fun, poll a few friends and do it yourself. Great. I don't have any of those, so let's just roll with it.
Okay.
We have favorite numbers over here. We have created Alice, Bob, Charlie, David, and Eve. And we've given them the values of 7, 3, 12, 5, and 8. As you can guess, as we did previously, we are going to print each person's name and their favorite number. But now, you know me, gotta be a silly goose, sticking in a couple of loops here and there. So for name and number, so now we're going to be taking both values in favorite numbers, and now we also call in the items function of that favorite numbers. With that, we are going to print a formatted string, and we are going to supplement the values name as well as number into the string. Okay, sorry, it's going to loop for each item in there. My bad, I had a bit of a brain fart. So if we test that out, we should be able to see name is whatever the person's name's favorite number is. We check down here, Alice's favorite number is 7, Bob's is 3, Charlie's is 12, David's is 5, Eve's is 8. Just like here. Making sense?
100%.
Awesome. Okay, along with that, we are going to go on to 6-3, our glossary. A Python dictionary can be used to model an actual dictionary. However, to avoid confusion, let's call it a glossary. Think of 5 programming words you've learned about in the previous chapters. Use these words as the keys in your glossary and store their meanings as values. Okay, this is where it gets funky. Our second point is we're going to print each word and its meaning as neatly formatted output. You might print the word followed by a colon, whatever, specifications. Great, we all know that great stuff. So in 6-3, we have our glossary created over here. We have variable, function, loop, list, and dictionary, each followed by its definition. Great, we've created these twice already. Copying the same format I did before using my for loop, I needn't explain it again. We are going to do the exact same thing. We are going to print the formatted string, where we are going to then capitalize each word and break a new line, then print the meaning. If we look carefully, we should see here, variable, a reserved memory location to store values, just as we created over here. It does the same for function, loop, list, and dictionary. Variable, function, loop, list, and dictionary. Printing them all out. Okay. Any quizzes?
It's a cool formatting, eh?
Thank you.
It's really cool. But everything is good on my side. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you. Gotta keep it nice and squish, gotta keep it neat and nice and readable.
It is. It is.
Okay. Next up is page 42. Okay. Wait. 142, right? Yeah. Okay. The try it yourself section now on page 142. Question 6-4, glossary part 2. Now that we know how to loop through a dictionary, clean up the code. We have to clean up the code from our previous exercise by replacing our series of print calls with a loop that runs through the dictionary's keys and values. When we're sure that the loop works, add 5 more Python terms to your glossary. When you run the program again, these new words and meanings should automatically be included in the output. Okay. Oof, let me go full screen here. Let me close down my terminal and let me close that. Cool. So yes, I did get a little bit jam-packed. I'm well aware. But so here I've created the glossary as specified and added a couple more. We have string, integer, boolean, tuple, as well as set, as well as their definitions. Great.
Okay.
This is the part here where we're going to loop through the dictionary and print each word as well as its meaning. Same for loop as before. We're going to take the word and the meaning and we're going to repeat it however many items are in the list. Now that's great because earlier they specified they should automatically be included in the output. This will automatically check the length of it. So if you add more, it'll loop more.
Okay.
And then it prints as usual with our formatted string. I needn't explain more. Okay. Going on to 6.5 now. Rivers. Make a dictionary containing 3 major rivers and the country each river runs through. One key value pair might be Nile in Egypt, for example. We're going to use a loop to print a sentence about each river, such as the Nile runs through Egypt. Use a loop to print the name of each river included in the dictionary. And use a loop to print the name of each country included in the dictionary. Okay. So here we go. Here is our, what was the word we used before? Glossary. That's the one. Here's our glossary rivers. We have the 3 values. Sorry, the 3 keys. Nile, Amazon, and what? I forgot. Yankee. Okay, you know what? Forget it. Yangtze. We have the Nile in Egypt, Amazon in Brazil, Yangtze in China. Sorry, my brain had a terrible moment. Can we both forget that?
It's okay. It's
But
okay.
I swear, whoever's watching this, don't make fun of me because of it. Otherwise, I will find you. Okay. So we're starting off with our first for loop. Same method as before. For river as well as country, our key and value in rivers and items. We like it. Why? It's efficient. Add more, loops more. Take away, loop less. And then we are going to print the formatted string with the value river and country supplemented in.
Okay.
I forgot, I actually never really ran through the answers before. Starting up here with the previous activity, we have confidence that these work. It's pretty clear. All the way up
Yeah, I
to
can see it.
set, the last one. Okay, cool. And as for 6.5, we have the blank runs through blank. Here we have it, the Nile runs through Egypt, the Amazon runs through Brazil, and the Yangtze runs through China. We got it all broken up.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Just checking here. Wait, was that the rest of it? Okay, yeah, then use a loop to print the name of each river included in the dictionary. And this is where we have rivers in the dictionary, just the print to specify. And then we got the repeat Nile, Amazon, and Yangtze. All printed using a for loop, river in rivers.keys. Now this is where things get spicy, because whereas before we had comma country, we're not taking two values now, we're only taking one value. And what is that? Our key. Where do we find our keys? Wait, sorry. We find our keys in keys. Hence why we only have one specifier. We're not taking any... Wait, sorry, I did my countries before. I'm losing my marbles here. We only take in the key. Hence why we don't specify items, we specify keys.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And then finally, the countries that are in the dictionary, not the rivers. So we create country and we create the loop, and this time we take in values, not keys. Hence why that specification, and then we print them all in the loop. As you can see here, we have countries in the dictionary: Egypt, Brazil, and then China.
Good.
Okay. Next we have 6.6. Polling. Use the code in favorite languages in a couple pages back. And we're going to make a list of people who should take the favorite languages poll. Include some names that are already in the dictionary and some that are not. Okay. I may or may not have skipped over that part. But anyways, we create our dictionary having 3 keys, 3 values. Great. Alice schmarks Python, Bob schmarks JavaScript, Charlie schmarks Ruby. We like that. Okay? And then this is the list of people who should take the poll. This is where we create the list full of Alice, Bob, David, Eve, Charlie, and Frank. 3 names that are already included. Spicy.
Okay.
This is where we're going to loop through the list. So for person in people to poll, our list, so it'll loop over that many times. And it is taking not the index position, but the value. Yeah. Now we have an if here to check if that person is in that list. Sorry, favorite languages. It's going to check to see if this person that it's selected is in our dictionary. If they are, it's going to print thank you for responding. Otherwise, if they are not in our dictionary, it's going to print hi blank, please take our favorite languages poll. And if we check at the bottom here, Alice and Bob, the first 2 are Alice and Bob. Great. Thank you for responding. David and Eve, they are not in our dictionary. So it will ask them, please take our favorite languages poll, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Okay.
Works perfectly.
Groovy. Any questions?
Nope, nothing on my side.
Sweetness. Now we're going over to page 149, our last one. Oh, the humanity. So, question 6-7. People. I feel like I've seen this title before. Start the program you wrote in exercise 6-1. Make 2 new dictionaries representing different people. Install all 3 dictionaries in a list called people. Loop through your list of people, and as you loop through the list, print everything you know about each person. Okay. Let's have a squiz here. Our first person. First name John Doe, 30, New York. Cool. Person 2, Jane Smith, 25 years of age and Los Angeles. Person number 3, Sam, last name Brown, 35 in Chicago. Awesome. We got our dictionaries compiled. We know how that works. Now we've stuck each dictionary in a list called people, as specified. And then finally, it's going to loop through the list of people and print everything about them. So for person in people, we are going to print the first formatted string. The first name of person and specifying their first name. Now this allows it to keep cycling, which is nice and cheeky, because it's going to cycle through this list, choosing each key from each dictionary. It's really nifty. This is why I like Python. Finally, secondly, it's going to do last name. It's going to steal the specific value last name, and the same for age as well as city. If we run these bad boys, we should see one second. There we go. First name John, last name Doe, age 30, city New York, just as we specified before. Jane Smith, 25, Los Angeles. Let's double check. Jane Smith, 25, Los Angeles. And you can see for yourself the third person, who is Sam, is identical. Cool. Still following?
Good. 100%.
Cool. Then we can bounce to 6-8 pets. Make several dictionaries, where each dictionary represents a different pet. In each dictionary, include the kind of animal and the owner's name. Store these dictionaries in a list called pets. Next, loop through your list, and as you do, print everything you know about each pet. Okay. Identical to the previous one. Only difference is, it's animals now, instead of personal details. The first pet, it's a dog and owner Alice. Second pet, cat, owner Bob. Third pet is a parrot, owner Charlie. 4, hamster, owner David. We store all those in a list. We have one more than before. Don't matter, because the way we type our for loops, it shall extend as the list extends, and it shall reduce as the list reduces. We are going to print the animal first, then the owner. What are we going to be taking? The value for animal, as well as the value for owner. In this case would be, first it would be dog, then Alice, then cat, then Bob, parrot, Charlie, hamster, and David.
Okay, looks good.
Groovy. Swiftly moving on, we've got 6-9, favorite places. Make a dictionary called favorite places. Think of 3 names to use as keys in the dictionary and store 1 to 3 favorite places for each person. People like to use words. To make this exercise a bit more interesting, ask some friends instead. We're not going to do that. We're going to dive right into here. In here we have our favorite places, and we have our 3 keys, Alice, Bob, and Charlie. Inside we have a list of their 3 favorite places. Alice digs Paris, Tokyo, New York. Bob schmarks London and Sydney. Charlie adores Rome, Barcelona, and Tokyo. This is where the loops start coming in. So for person and places in favorite places items. Remember, now we're checking out the items. Snazzy, right? We are going to print a formatted string where we're going to fill in the person's name in the beginning as usual. And now we're going to leave it open for all the other places. So now we're doing a loop within a loop. How crazy? Mind blowing. So in this for loop, we are going to create place in places. Same way we did our for loop with person, places, as well as this.
Okay.
In here, we are simply going to print the formatted string, but this time with the name of the place. It'll fill in right after. And then finally, a blank line for readability. When we run this, we should see here Alice's favorite places are, because it's the first time looping in our first for loop. Cool. Then comes our next for loop, which is going to cycle until it's done, then jump up and cycle again. So what does it do? Paris, Tokyo, and New York. Now our original loop is going to go for its second run around. It's going to do Bob's favorite places are, first portion done. Our for loop runs entirely again, twice this time, London and Sydney. And same for Charlie's favorite places, and so on and so forth. Make sense?
100% on my side.
Love it. We are going to do the same thing with numbers. Modify your program so that each person can have more than one favorite number, and then print each person's name along with their favorite numbers. Identical. This time, just with numbers. Alice has 3 favorite numbers, Bob has 2 favorite numbers, Charlie has 3 favorite numbers, all stored within our dictionary. Broken up into 2 for loops again. First one's going to cycle through each person, the second one's going to cycle through each of their favorite numbers. Same formatting as before, replaces the person's name, replaces the number, and if we run it, we should be able to see over here Alice's favorite numbers are 7, 12, 21. Bob's are 3 and 15, just as the top there. And same for Charlie, 9, 18, and 24.
Okay, I see that.
Awesome. So can we move on?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. 611. Cities. Makes us a dictionary called cities. Use the names of 3 cities as keys in your dictionary. Create a dictionary of information about each city and include the country that the city is in, its approximate population, and 1 fact about that city. The keys for each city's dictionary should be something like the country, population, and fact. Print the name of each city and all of the information you have stored about it. Okay. Sounds scary? Not as bad as you think. Okay. Starting off with our first dictionary, city. Well, cities. Now, this is the cool part about dictionaries. You can nest them. You can put a dictionary inside of a dictionary, inside of a dictionary, and inside of a dictionary till kingdom come. And that's
Yes.
exactly what we have done here. We've created our first dictionary, and here we've created a second one within it. This second one contains all the information we need for New York, such as what country it's in, its estimate population, and a fact about it. Over here, we have our second one, Tokyo, broken up into what country it's in, population, and a fact, and all of these are separated by a comma after creating the dictionary. And we have the same for Paris. France, population, and a fact for it. Now, we've done this before, just worded differently. We're going to create a for loop and print all the information about them. So what do? For city and info in cities and items, well, we're going to use items from cities. We are going to first print what city it's in. We're going to fill it in. The country, and that's where we're going to take info. Oh, wait, sorry, my bad. This is where we're going to break up info about country. Finally, we're going to work with the population. We're going to break it up about our population, and finally the fact. When we run these, we should get. Oh wait, I forgot I ran it already. See, my brain's not even on today. Okay, our first one should be New York City, so let's follow through with this. The first for loop runs. Okay, in that it prints city and fills in New York. Next, it prints country and fills in what country it's in, and the same for population as well as the fact. Then guess what? Our loop starts again. It goes all the way back up to Tokyo. Then it follows the same format to print the country, population, and the fact. Goes again to do the same thing for Paris. Make sense?
100%.
Rad. And finally onto our last one, 6-12 extensions. We are now working with examples that are complex enough that they can be extended in any number of ways. Use one of the example programs from this chapter and extend it by adding new keys and values, changing the context of the program, or improving the formatting of the output. Radicals. Let's have a look here. So here is a dictionary storing the same stuff with extras. So let's look at our first big thing here. Landmarks. What's happening here? Well, if you know, we created a list as a value for a key within a dictionary that's in a dictionary. How crazy is that? So yes, they weren't joking. We are going to get pretty complicated with this. We know the standard list format. We have stuck it in as usual, and that includes Statue of Liberty, Central Park, Empire State Building.
Okay.
Okay, we've done the same thing for Tokyo. We've also added a list here, and also, as you would have seen before, we've also added time zone, year established, also as additional information. The
Yes.
exact same information has been added to each of them. Okay. Now, this is where it gets wild, because now we got to display all this information. Okay, we're using the same for loop as before. City, info in cities, and we're going to base it off the items. Our first print is going to give us our city name. Our second print is going to give us what country it's in. Our fourth print is going to steal out what our population value is. And our fact as usual. We know those. Great. Our year established, same idea. Exactly the same as the previous three. But now this is where it gets pretty cool. Famous landmarks. Now remember, we worked with lists.
Yes.
Okay. So now we add this little piece of a blank string just to break everything up nice and neatly. Just some formatting. Or is it? This is where we are going to combine all the elements of our list and display them, so that it doesn't print them each on a new line. We don't want them each on a new line, otherwise it's going to look messy, it's going to look all shambled, nasty. So we compress them all together. And then finally we have our usual time zone, which is the same as all of these. The only difference is we add in a new line.
Okay.
So if we have a look at all the outputs, city New York, the country, the population, the fact, the year established, and here's where the big thing comes in. Famous landmarks. Statue of Liberty, Central Park, Empire State Building. They're all right next to each other and not underneath each other, which is what we're looking for. And
Yeah, that's really great formatting.
Thank you. And then the same applies through all of them. So, before we end this, any questions, any queries?
Hey, on my side, everything looks good.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Well then, ladies and germs, that was chapter 9. Wait, chapter 6. Yes, nearly lost myself there. Ladies and germs, that was chapter 6. Thank you for joining me, and that's it for tonight. See you for chapter 7.